Hey guys, and welcome back to the Hollywood Rundown. It's your girl V, and today we're going to be diving into why The Color Purple flopped, people are playing the blame game, who caused the biggest distraction, and what's really going on behind the scenes. Okay, so first up, we have the beautiful and talented Halle Bailey. Halle was coming already off the backlash from the movie The Little Mermaid that also flopped at the box office. One of the reasons it didn't perform well was due to overseas racial discrimination. Also, Halle's relationship with YouTuber, streamer, rapper, and businessman DDG, I'm gonna give him his props, it was being scrutinized, as the relationship had experienced a few public hiccups, one being that DDG's jealousy of Halle's love interest and co-star in the movie The Little Mermaid, it caused controversy. And DDG, he lashed out by expressing some very controversial lyrics in a song that he made during the timeline of the promotion of the movie. So it's no secret that Halle may have felt pressure in disclosing the advancement of her relationship and pregnancy with DDG during the promotion period for her next release, The Color Purple, because clearly DDG was someone the public did not want to see Halle with, and they made this known on social media countless times. As Halle began to start showing during her pregnancy, there was a constant back and forth with the fans demanding that Halle reveal her pregnancy, as most of the wardrobe was like free flowing and her face and her nose were starting to show signs. And in the midst of this, Halle lashed out saying, "I'm black. Her nose is her nose." Just all kind of strange stuff. Halle and her sister continued to push back in annoyance with the public during this time, all while never confirming or denying the pregnancy, asking for privacy, but constantly posting questionable pictures on social media. It was all very bizarre to anybody looking on and following the situation. Now, for some, it would seem, why is she ashamed of her pregnancy? But logically thinking, it could also have to do with contractual obligations she couldn't exactly speak on. I don't know if people took that part into account, but I am one of the people that did. It could also be she didn't want the fans to show further disappointment in her by letting her relationship derail her career, as they were already posting on social media about this from the last movie, The Little Mermaid. I imagine this is something that Halle will address when the time is right. In the meantime, she may have turned off a lot of her fans from her brand and the onlookers that were rooting for her with her social media antics, with the teasing of the public, the lashing out of the public, just for asking a simple question from their fave, the people that are supporting you. I think the situation was handled wrong. Again, I'm aware that it may not have been her choice, but I still feel how I feel. This situation was not handled right, especially when you had Sierra. She was also in the film The Color Purple, and she also grew to be 9 months pregnant and recently had a baby as well. Was Halle's pregnancy and the birth of her baby anybody's business in actuality? Absolutely not. She's not obligated to share anything with anyone. It was just the way that it was handled. Okay, so up next, we have Lady O, Miss Oprah Winfrey. But before we get into the side eye of Oprah, let's touch on her iconic resume. This lady was a 25-year-in talk show host. She owns Harpo Studios and Production. She owns O Magazine, self-titled. She was an actress. She owns the OWN TV network. And this lady is a billionaire. Let's not play with her. She's the premier Black female media mogul that we've all had a front seat to her rise in career and status and just the different opportunities that Oprah has been involved in. She's always been generous. She always gave out cars and all kind of stuff on her TV program. Says she's always been known as a generous queen. Oprah's supporters are diverse, and her resume, you can't F with it, period. In a previous interview with Gayle King on the red carpet for the Golden Globes, Oprah proclaimed herself to be the champion for the actresses on set. She fulfilled gaps and shortcomings of the studio that she wasn't really responsible for. Gaps like the ladies driving themselves in rental cars to set without security. They had no dressing rooms. They had no food to eat while on set. She said after one call to her, it was handled. Check out more comments in a previous video that I made already covering this topic. But let's stay on track with Oprah for this video. Okay, so let's talk about it. How many times has Oprah been involved with telling this story, profiting from this same production to the public? And why is she so obsessed with this storyline? I'm aware of her childhood abuse, but is there a more relatable story that could be told to match with today's victims and today's audience? This was just a thought, and it's one of the first things that came to my mind. The second thing was, this is a money grab. The story has been presented too many times, in my opinion. Also, her close friendship with Harvey Weinstein, who was found guilty for countless acts, but one having to do with the mistreatment of women. The math is not mathing, but that story is for another video. All right, so let's get into it. What's the timeline for The Color Purple, a book originally written by author Alice Walker in 1982? And where is she, by the way? And more importantly, has she been properly compensated? The original movie adaptation came out in 1985 with Whoopi Goldberg as the lead, playing Silly. Then the story had its run on Broadway in 2005, then went on to be revived in 2015 with Cynthia Erivo, Jennifer Hudson, and Danielle Brooks, who is in the current and latest release in 2023 that is now in theaters. Since the release, The Color Purple has grossed $58 million against the $100 million budget so far, which is considered a flop. But there is still time to recoup. They are still promoting the movie, and it's supposed to be hitting streaming services, if not already. So they spent $100 million making the movie, and you mean to tell me out of all of those millions, they couldn't set aside a couple of million for Taraji P. Henson? Although Taraji has not divulged her pay, we know it was not enough for her to have the strength to champion this movie the way that they wanted her to, which is the mistake of the big studios, and they keep making it over and over. Choosing to pay Black actresses peanuts and then expecting them to campaign and champion the movie, traveling the country, traveling abroad, promoting their movie. These women, deep down, they know that they have been taken advantage of. It would be hard for anyone who's been violated to produce these type of results, in which Taraji must have reached her breaking point during a Gayle King interview when something must have triggered her to spill on her traumas with Hollywood unprovoked. This was a true natural response she obviously couldn't hold in any longer, and I applaud her. This is priceless information up-and-coming actresses need to hear before they waste their lives trying to pursue acting using the same blueprint that she used. It's time for a new game plan. Taraji, Monique, Viola Davis, Gabrielle Union, and other brave women have presented the conversation before. Now it's time for the public to run with it. These women risk being blackballed for speaking out. Will Taraji be blackballed like Monique, allegedly? Who knows? But she should look at this as a disruptor and try a different path. She's a seasoned actress in her 50s. She is still not receiving the $1 million paydays to do what it is that she loves, she's studied for, she's put in the work, and it's still not good enough. 50 Cent recently reached out. Maybe they'll work together. Maybe he can mentor her on creating her own content, which I can imagine will be more fulfilling and absolutely more profitable. We can see that the studios have been trying to delve a little bit more into all-black movie cast in hopes of seeing returns like Wakanda, $1.3 billion grossed in 2018, and Wakanda Forever, which propelled Disney past $3 billion in 2022 at the box office globally. And allegedly, Disney was in financial trouble at the time, and this alleged cash grab exploiting the black community and Chadwick Boseman's death the second time around, in my opinion, yielded to be very profitable for the studio. So a lot of them have been trying to recreate this formula, but The Color Purple has definitely fallen short of that amidst all of the drama. Now, them recouping on their investment is still not over, as the movie was just released last month, but the numbers do speak for themselves and all of the drama that has taken place in the course of the release of the movie. Or we could look at it as maybe this was just a story that didn't need to be retold for the 100th time. Weigh in on the comments, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me about the conversation of black actresses not being paid their fair wages, black actresses needing to venture off and create their own content, learn the matters of the business, learn to produce, learn to direct, and get on with telling the stories that they want to tell, and be the main beneficiary of the profits. He who is first to count the money makes the most money. This is your girl V, signing off. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye.